In 2018, we saw the construction of blockchain protocols that did a lot to help solve the scalability and usability issues we've seen in the past. But I think as we start to get over the hype and delusions of blockchain being the end-all solution to things like world hunger and climate change, we will start to see some decentralized apps, or dApps, solve real issues in today's online technology. One of the most prevalent issues affecting both technology and pop culture is the seemingly random and unannounced banning of content creators earning money on the Patreon platform. If you're unfamiliar with Patreon, according to the Patreon CEO, Mr. Jack Conte, the platform provides creators with sustainable income while retaining full creative control. Funny how this picture, when taken out of context, could get Conte removed from his own platform. Now, in the past month or so, the banning of popular voices across YouTube and other platforms has set off a domino effect that's creating a mass exodus from Patreon itself. Sargon of Akkad, a self-described classical liberal, was banned from the platform in December, which caused quite an uproar amongst others within the same political sphere of free speech advocacy. Sam Harris, who's well known for his atheist philosophy and podcast, announced he would also be leaving the platform shortly thereafter. This was followed up by both Dave Rubin and Jordan Peterson announcing that they would be leaving Patreon and looking into creating an alternative to the platform altogether. And it's not all free speech advocates or commentators on Western politics who have felt the brunt of Patreon's ban hammer. Vex Ashley, who creates adult content on the channel A Four-Chambered Heart, was told the channel was no longer welcome on Patreon earlier last year when sweeping bans of adult content were removed due to pressure from Patreon's payment processors. Although Ashley's content is explicit in nature, the videos are produced with an artistic spin that doesn't seem much more sordid than sex scenes on HBO or Showtime. I know, I actually watched quite a few of them. And then there's the curious case of Naomi Wu, a self-taught gadget expert and engineer of all things tech out of Shenzhen, China. Naomi Wu, who goes by the screen name Sexy Cyborg, was caught in the middle of a kerfuffle with Vice Media, who she alleges published sensitive information about her personal life that could have led to potentially putting her in danger given the social and political climate in China. In response, Naomi posted her own video about the Vice reporters, which she alleges caught the attention of their lawyers, who, in turn, went after her source of income. You guessed it, Patreon. More of the same from our big tech overlords. They're teaching us how to think, and of course, they know how to spend our money better than we do. Why should we be free to support content creators who step outside their arbitrary boundaries? Now, what does all of this have to do with cryptocurrency? Have you connected the dots yet? With the recent swath of creators left without access to income, there's more than a few subscribers sitting idle, waiting for the chance to continue supporting those creators. In theory, a Patreon alternative could attract some of these content creators and potentially have a large user base to get started with. And with payment processing services like PayPal and Stripe breaking service with centralized alternatives like Subscribestar, it's seeming like the only solution would have to be cryptocurrency. I'm not quite sure what Jordan Peterson and Dave Rubin are working on, but recent Twitter activity from Peterson suggests that he's looking into a crypto-based solution. I really feel like we might have the perfect storm at hand to see a breakthrough in blockchain applications, and right now there's one Patreon alternative that's most on my radar. Patreos, which is built on the EOS blockchain, thus the name, has quite a few intriguing features that I think could make it a contender. In a conversation I had with a member of the founding team on Telegram, he stated the following: "A consequence of building Patreos on a blockchain is that we can't censor anyone. Our smart contracts simply don't allow for it. In today's climate, especially of late, people are desperate for a service that doesn't risk deplatforming or demonetization. Moreover, according to both our chat and the Patreos website, content creators will retain 100% of their supporters' pledges, which is another massive advantage for the platform. Now, for sake of transparency, I was not paid by Patreos, nor do I own any Patreos tokens yet. but I am part of the EOS community, and having been at the EOS Hackathon myself in November, I do believe it has a strong community of developers and supporters, and I really think that solutions like this are going to become more prevalent in 2019. So the Patreos platform is currently in development and plans to launch sometime in mid to late Q1, so keep an eye out for that. I'm personally hoping to get my hands on some early access to test it out, so there could be a review video here at some point of the platform. You can also follow me on Twitter at EvanTweetsHere for updates. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up or subscribe. Comments are welcome. And please head over to my Patreon to support me. Just kidding.